you very much, Alfia, for such a warm, fun welcome. Welcome everyone to Croydon Communicators. We love to have fun while learning here at Croydon Communicators. And if you're new to Toastmasters, we are a Toastmaster club based here in Croydon. We generally meet 2 to 3 times a month, every second, fourth, and fifth Thursday of the month. So tonight I'm going to actually start off with a quote. And I think it's actually boils down to what we are going to be doing tonight. The quote goes, if you can't speak, you can influence. If you can influence, you can change lives. And what we're here to learn tonight is how to speak and connect with our most powerful device, our words. And before the night starts, I would like to give just a brief introduction to our amazing speaker and facilitator tonight. So Andrew has traveled the world as a professional classical singer and speaker, appearing in the World Great Festivals in Europe, Asia, South America. He has faced challenges of using his voice in opera while standing on a tiny platform 15 meters above the stage. I wouldn't want to do that. But also on stage, laying flat on his back. What the producer wanted, the producer usually got. He has performed in open air theaters, seating thousands, and tiny venues where the audience seem to be sitting on your lap. He knows how to adapt all vocal circumstances. As a qualified public speaker and a voice coach, he has shared his vocal know-how with people of many different cultures, varied contests, conferences, theaters, and recording studios. What will they speak about? How will the audience benefit? There's a Chinese proverb that goes, the tongue can paint what the eyes can see. It is therefore vital that as speakers we learn to optimize our vocal presence to inspire the audience, and Andrew will bring his vocal expertise to guide us in that quest tonight. Why will the audience listen? You might ask. Tonight you will hear, experience your voice, walking in a fresh new way. Can you please unmute to give a warm welcome to Andrew to the stage? Please unmute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aminat, and thank you, Croydon Communicators. I'm so delighted that the evening has at last come and we are going to share together in your engaging voice, the voice workshop online. I'm very excited to bring this to you this evening. Could I ask you now, please, to put yourselves back on mute? We'll just give you indications when you go on mute and when you come off mute as we go through the workshop. I want you to teach me to throw my voice. And that's what the gentleman said who'd come to consult me. And it was only through respect for the gentleman that I had in front of me that I said, or rather I didn't say, throw your voice where? You see, voices aren't thrown across a room. Voices are resonated within our bodies. We set up the best vocal conditions and the best physical conditions to find our finest vocal quality. Now, this particular gentleman, he'd been told that he had problems with volume. Sometimes he was too soft, sometimes he was too loud. And he also had one of those voices, and I expect you've heard them sometimes when you've been doing the rounds of Toastmasters clubs. It was rather flat. It stayed all on one note all the time. And so he'd come to ask some questions and see how he could improve. This workshop is based on the idea that we're going to discover our best vocal quality together, and we're going to explore that magical term that we hear in a lot of our evaluations at Toastmasters, which is vocal variety. It's a good recommendation, but unless someone comes to you and shows you how to achieve vocal variety, well, how do you make that recommendation become a part of your skill set? This workshop is all about finding your best vocal quality and your most engaging and connecting presence as a public speaker. That's what we're going to do this evening. We've got quite a lot to accomplish in this workshop. I'm looking forward to it greatly. We will have a warm-up session, first of all, which is something you could incorporate if you're going to give a presentation, maybe in your Toastmasters club, but also outside. You know, I'm very keen that we take our Toastmasters skills outside of the club and that we use them in our professional lives and in our social lives. If we give a speech on a social occasion, these are skills that we can take outwards. So I will give you a warm-up that you can use. You could use it on a daily basis or a semi-daily basis. We're going to set up your best vocal quality. After that, we're going to be hearing from two prepared speakers from Croydon Communicators who very, very bravely stepped up. They will present speech extracts to us of 2 minutes duration, and I will be coaching them actually on screen in front of you so that you can get yet more learning and they can also receive the learning. We'll learn together in a coaching situation this evening with two prepared speakers. We've got all sorts of things to do later on. We're going to be doing some table topics and I'll be giving you vocal evaluation. Slightly different way of handling the evaluations of table topics. There's much to learn, much to do. And I underline that the old Italian teachers, you know, they had a proverb and it was, if you look for quality, then the quantity comes. And in my workshop, I love us together to look for quality. We're going to start out now and we're going to get our bodies in the best alignment for our voices to work. I'm going to encourage you this evening, if you have any problems with your neck, your back, please be careful. We're trusting you to do the right thing for you. If you feel you need to drop out of an exercise for a moment, that's absolutely fine. Join in when it's comfortable to you. That's absolutely fine. But don't push yourself beyond what's comfortable to you in any situation. Also, I've asked you to bring some of this along. Now that's a rather impressive bottle of water just to show you, but I hope you've got a glass of water or a small water bottle with you. Our voices only work well when there's humidity. So that's why we do need to have a little water with us when we're going to work on our voices this evening. Here we go then. Let's work on our body alignment. Now, if you were going to play a musical instrument, you would learn to hold that instrument properly so that you could make the most beautiful sound, wouldn't you? Well, it's the same thing with your speaking voice. So we're going to find the best situation and position for our speaking voices to work. It's a flexible and adaptable position because we have lots of body language and gestures when we're speaking, but nonetheless, we need to start out with the basic principle. I'm going to encourage you now to do what I'm doing. You're in the comfort of your own home. Just kick off your shoes and feel the ground nice and firmly under your feet, if it's not too cold. Okay, and your feet should be no further than shoulder width apart. No further than shoulder width apart for the feet, please. That's good, because we want a good stance. Excellent. That's fine. I'm seeing you look very good. Here comes the first exercise. It's very easy. What I'm going to get you to do, I'll show you, and then I'll line it out for you, okay? I get you to drop your head to your chest, take it to the right, and then back to the center, to the left, and back to the center. And then slowly, slowly, you're going to bring your head up. Reason we bring the head up nice and slowly is because it's the heaviest part of your body. So we don't want to do anything that's too rapid. And also, this is the warm up. This isn't the speaking yet. This is the warm up and getting into physical condition. Okay. So we're going to do that one again. I'm going to line it out for you and you can do, and I shall take a look on my gallery view. Here we go. So just gently drop your head as far as is comfortable for you. Yeah, lovely. Take it to the left and the center. And the right, and the center. Great. Slowly bring your head up and just gently breathe out. That's nice and comfortable. Very good. You're already looking a lot better on screen. That's nice. Okay, we're going to flex our shoulders a little bit. We're going to take them backwards and forwards. Now, why am I doing this? Because a lot of us spend quite a lot of our day actually online. And have you felt that terrible knot that you get at the top of your neck and the top of your spine there? That little knot that, you know, I call it internet knot because you've been online all day long. And so we're going to just ease that out a little bit. So to take your shoulders back and then forwards, back and then forwards. Isn't this nice? It's opening you out physically. You would want that feeling of freedom when you were giving a speech or a presentation somewhere, because it would allow you to have nice open gestures as well. So that's good. That's a good feeling. You can imagine a line that goes from your well-planted feet through and up through the back of your legs, up your spine, and your head. Your head is crowning the column or crowning your body. It's a nice flexible feeling. It's firm but flexible. There's nothing military about this. It's not stiff or tense, because stiff and tense are the opposite of what we want for our voices. So we're nice and flexible and poised, ready to speak. That's great. We're going to have a little word about breath. A lot of very confusing things are said about breathing for speakers and singers. Well, we go for the simple recipe in this workshop because we need to be nice and direct with our time. So what I want you to do is, there's your thumb. Take your thumb, and I'm going to ask you to place it underneath your lowest rib at the side of your rib cage. So underneath the very lowest rib, bottom of the rib cage there, place your thumb. Great. I'm going to show you the next finger is that one, and that one is going to go in your hip socket, you know, where you place your jeans. So you've got one under the lowest rib, one in the hip socket. Shoulders are back and relaxed all the time. We don't have any tension there. It's nice when the shoulders are back and relaxed because it brings our thoracic cage, our chest nice and forward, which is good for our breathing. Okay, we're going to breathe out first. I'll count to 3. We're going to breathe out. 1, 2, 3, breathe out. Going to take a breath in, and we're going to feel an expansion at the rib cage and a little bit of uplift. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. You feel that expansion down there? Great. Gently let the air go, let the breath go. 1, 2, 3, breathe out. Always breathe out before you breathe in exercises, because you all have a bit of residual air. Otherwise, you get into trouble. Great. So you breathe out gently. Let's do it one more time. We're going to breathe in, okay? And it's not a huge sensation, but it's a kind of feeling of uplift and expansion down at the bottom of the rib cage. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. And breathe out. Isn't this nice? You see, you all come to the workshop and I get you to do lovely, relaxing things, really. So that's cool. Right, wonderful. The reason I'm doing this sort of breathing exercise with you is because in daily life, a lot of us breathe very high in the chest. It gets very tense, and that's not good for your voice box. You know, we have that kind of asthmatic-y breathing. Maybe we rush our phrases. Maybe we're rushing to get somewhere even. We get that very high breath. When we're speaking and to find our best vocal quality, we need to think of our breath that little bit lower in the body. It gives us more poise and control over the length of phrases that we can say in our speeches. So that's why. Relax your hand and your arm now. Eventually, you're going to be able to do that kind of breath without needing the thumb and the finger. The thumb and the finger are just there to help you get to it. Good, good work. Now we're going to do a bit of humming because we're going to get some nice resonant sound. And humming is one of the best ways to warm up your voice without tiring it in any way. And I said to you, this is a warm-up routine. I had to choose something that we'd all know together. So I've chosen Happy Birthday to You. Now, does it happen to be anybody's birthday here today? I'm just looking in case there are any birthdays. Sometimes when I give the workshop, we land on someone's birthday. But there we go. We're going to hum Happy Birthday to You. We get a nice resonant hum. Remember that nice low breath. We connect up to that nice low breath rather than a high panicky one, okay? I'm going to start it off for you and you're going to follow me. And do you know something? I don't mind about your singing voice. You're on mute and you're in your own home. So you're all nice and free to try this out. You ready to go? You ready to go? Here we go. Yes, not bad. I bet we can get a bit more buzz and resonance on this sound. I'm going to get you to do what you would do on a very cold day. You take a breath, and on a cold day, what do? You blow your lips out. Can you do that one for me? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Sometimes it takes a moment for our thought to catch up with the action. Let's have another go, shall we? You're doing well. Keep going. Here we go. One more breath. Good. Now with those nice loose lips, we're going to get more of a hum going, I think. Here we go. Hum along. Now we're doing Happy Birthday to You, but in your warm-up routine, you could hum any song that you like. You can vary the song. It's up to you. It's your warm-up routine, but choose something that gets you humming along nicely and a bit of a buzz on the sound. We're going to move on now to some voiced consonants and vowels for resonance. Now, what do I mean by voiced consonants? What on earth is that term? Well, the voiced consonants are the one that you can make a sustained sound on. So things like the M, the N, and the L, okay? Those are our voiced consonants. And we're going to add some vowels to them. I'm going to line out the exercise. You repeat it after me. Here we go. Me, may, ma, mu. Ready? Me, may, ma, mu. Good start. Next is the N. Ni, ne, na, nu. And remember that resonant sound we got in the hum there when we were singing? Let's just try that series of 2 again, and let's see if we can get more of that nice feeling. It's something delicious. It's delicious to do this exercise. Here we go. Me, may, ma, mu. You'll go. Great. Ni, ne, na, nu. And the last one, before we do the last one, I'm going to get you to do what your mother told you never, ever to do, but you can do it here in this workshop. I'm going to get you to stick out your tongue. And I'm going to get you to take your tongue to the left and to the center and the right and the center. There you go. Yep, lovely. Stick out that tongue. That's good. The reason is, and have a little swallow afterwards as well, you'll need it. The reason is that, so A, some people have very big tongues, and B, quite a lot of people take their tongue back and they block the back of their throat even when they're speaking. So just releasing the tongue is very helpful to us, and it means that our voice can pass through without anything obstructing it or stopping it. Okay, so that's why we release the tongue like that. Have another go. It's quite fun, isn't it? That's it, release your tongue. It allows you also to gently drop your jaw, which is a good thing too occasionally. Don't have to go too far. We don't need to pull on the jaw. Excellent. So have a good swallow. Splendid. So we are now ready to do li, lay, lo, lu. Off you go. Excellent work. We're getting through the series very nicely. Well done, everybody. And the last thing I want to do with you is a consonant patter. Now, let me talk about consonants. I'm sure you've all heard when you've been either in a room in person or online, those speakers who make that horrible popping sound in the microphone. Have you heard that sometimes? That sometimes people try a bit too hard with consonants and they spit them, and you hear that popping sound if they've got a microphone. What we really need are light and precise consonants. Because if you try and spit the consonants into the room, it's what they call the law of diminishing returns, and they don't travel as well. We need lightness and preciseness to get our consonants across. Our consonants are really important for our clarity. So we're going to do a little consonant patter. You repeat after me. Pitter, patter, potter. Good. Clipper, clatper, clotter. Flipper, flapper, flopper. Great, I'll line it out again and I'll try and not get the second one wrong this time. That was my trip up. Okay, here we go. Pitter, potter, patter. Clipper, clopper, clatter. Flipper, flopper, flatter. Good, so we've already done quite a nice little warm-up routine there. We've had our humming and our resonant sounds. We've got our breath working for us. We've got our body alignment. We've practiced some vowels and consonants. It's a very basic pattern, but it's a good pattern. I now have a little word rhyme for us. Now, we have some folks who come sometimes whose voices are quite monotonous, or who maybe you're somebody who struggles with getting range in your voice and a bit of variation. This is a little word game. It's a nonsense rhyme, but it allows us to go up and down and round about in the voice. So we're going to explore together. I'm going to line it out to you. You're going to repeat after me. Here we go. So, does the man in the moon like music? Well done. Does he tootle on his flute? Or does he croon? We're going to do those two lines again so that we really fix them. Does the man in the moon like music? Does he tootle on his flute? Or does he croon? Well done. Does he slip in something lunar? In the way he plays his tune? Or does he simply sit and doodle on the moon? Let's do the second half again. Does he slip in something lunar in the way he plays his tune? Or does he simply sit and doodle on the moon? Right, you're ready. And don't worry, after this workshop, you'll be receiving 2 articles from me. One of them is my vocal variety article, and it has noted down the warm-up that we've done this evening and the word rhymes. So you're going to have those after this session. But let's take that whole exercise now. We're going to go, you'll have to listen to me. We're going to go up and down and round about. One of the ways I help you to find vocal variation and vocal variety, because I come at this from a musician's angle as well as being a public speaking teacher. One of the ways I do it is through your ear. I think quite a lot of us, we have quite a lazy ear because in daily life, we don't have to listen very carefully often. Lots of conversation is mundane. So I get you to work with your hearing to find that vocal variation. Here we go. Does the man in the moon like music? Does he tootle on his flute or does he croon? Does he slip in something lunar in the way he plays his tune? Or does he simply sit and doodle on the moon? Well done, everybody. Give yourselves a virtual wave. It's going well. Stick with it. We're doing very, very well. Excellent work. I'm now going to invite onto the virtual stage our first speaker for this evening. Our first speaker is going to be Toastmaster Rupa. I'd love to have her spotlighted with me if we could on camera. That would be lovely to have her spotlighted alongside me. And we are going to hear a 2-minute speech extract from Rupa today. There we go. And her title is comparison is the thief of joy. So there we are. We'll just bring Rupa onto the stage. Are you there, Rupa? I'm not seeing you on my screen. Ah, hello, Rupa. It's nice to see you. Well done. Okay, I'm going to let you deliver your 2-minute extract there. Over to you.
My parents could be richer than they are. I would be sitting at home and enjoying my life. I wish I could be taller than this so that I could participate in modeling competition. Do you often compare yourself with anyone? Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and most welcome guests. Few years back, I used to compare myself with almost everyone in my life. And trust me, that comparison ended me being disappointed. Then I started understanding why we compare ourselves with others every single time. So the realization was, since childhood, our parents and society has been comparing us with everyone. For example, when you were in school, you must have seen your teacher holding your report card and say, okay, your kid is definitely not a cleverest kid in the class. I'm sure he can do better. In college days, you must have seen your relative saying that I have spent 10K for my daughter's education. What? What did you say? 3K? Doesn't sound like a good university. And now, especially from where I come from, India. So basically, what happens in our culture is if you are unmarried, it's very common for your parents to repeat the same dialogue over and over again. Daughter, sit here. Every person in your age is married. When you are going to get married, give me a date or at least a deadline. So how do you feel when someone compare you with someone? I want to know how. Anyone? Thank you.
Thank you, Rupa. Round of applause for Rupa. Great work. Lovely speech extract there. Already we've got a lot of good things on. We've got some dramatization. We've got some gesture going on. We've got lots of different qualities. What I think I'd like to work with you on this evening, Rupa, if we may, I'm finding your higher sounds in your voice absolutely great. And some of the middle ones I'm finding great, but I want to help you to access some of the deeper tones in your voice because they're useful sometimes. Now, a really healthy voice has the lower tones, the middle tones, and the higher tones, you see. So I think it might open a door to more expression for you if we can just do a little bit of work and try and access some of those lower sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an exercise. It's an exercise we call sirening, okay? We're going to go and explore together the lower part of your voice. So you have to humor me a bit and do the exercise with me, okay? But what I do, I'm going to show you now, Rupa. What I do is I take a note, it's any comfortable note, really, in, sort of in the middle of your voice. And I take it down as far as I can go. Yeah, that's the idea. And you can accompany it with a gesture because you're doing it as an exercise. So why not if it makes it nice and relaxed and more comfortable to you? So you take a comfy note. Let me hear you. Let me hear you. I was doing it myself that time. Let me hear you do it, please. Yeah. I wonder if you can get a bit further. Yeah, if we warm it up a bit, I wonder if you can go even further. See if you can go really down into the depths. Yeah. Try one more time, because you're getting the hang of it. That's right. See, what I'm doing is I'm linking up. Remember that nice low breath we took at the beginning? I'm linking that up to your voice and your sounds, so that your voice is all connected up and you can access those sounds if you want to, because you might have a moment in a speech where you want to go, you know, into a quietness or another, or a ghostly quality, or all sorts of reasons that there are for accessing the lower part of the voice and not sitting high all the time. Yeah. People respond to voices differently, don't they? I don't know how you feel, Rupa, but when you hear a speaker and you hear their voice, we will respond slightly differently. But it's kind of a gut reaction. And sometimes if we're sitting on the high ones all the time, people aren't listening to us. So this is a workshop about getting impact in our speaking. Now, do that exercise for me once more, and then we're going to try out the first lines of the speech again. Okay, so off you go, Rupa. Lovely. Now give me the first lines of the speech. My parents.
Oh, okay. So I have to start from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do the exercise and then go straight into the speech. Ah, that's good.
My parents could be richer than they are. I could be sitting at home and enjoying my life. I wish I could be taller than this so that I could participate in modeling competition.
Very good. Already, we started to hear some sounds. Even when you did the exercise before, we started to hear some sounds that were the depths of your voice as well. So that was good. And whereas before, when you started the first time, you gave me a lot of the high part of the voice, there you were kind of edging into the middle of the voice, which is where most of the thematic material of our speech probably will be, in that conversational middling tone. So that's good, you managed to access it. And the last thing that I thought we'd do to wind up this little coaching session for you is that I wondered if there was a different way in terms of intention and expression of taking the bit, you know, where you're saying, if you're unmarried, it's common for parents to repeat the same dialogue every single day. Yeah, and it's kind of, oh, you hear it every single day. It's dull, but every single day. And it's, you know, when are you getting married? I wonder if you could get really fed up with hearing the question so that I hear it in your vocal tone. So would you like to go from, and now especially from where I came from, India?
And now, especially from where I come from, India. If you are unmarried, it's very common for your parents to repeat the same dialogue over and over again. Daughter, sit here. Every person in your age is married. And they have a kids too. When are you going to get married? Give me a date, or at least a deadline. So
now that's it, Rupert. Did you notice how you were able to access more depth in your tone when you said every person your age is married? When you accessed a bit more exasperation, but also depth in your tone, and that's what I wanted for you to achieve this evening. So play around with that little exercise. And did you see what I got you to do? I got you to do the exercise and then go straight into the speaking. Yeah, well done, Rupa. That was a terrific session. Excellent work, and thank you for volunteering.
thank you.
That's a delight. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do something together now, and this is an exercise where we're going to unmute, which is great because it doesn't matter if we're all unmuted in this one.
So are we going to do our speech one more time, the whole speech, or it was just...
No,
okay.
We work on sections. Thank you. But thank you for that.
Thank you.
That's excellent. So we are going to do an exercise now, which we call the meal game. Everybody can come off mute for this exercise because it doesn't matter if we're all hearing each other. In fact, it creates quite a nice feeling of friendship and camaraderie in our room for us. In the meal game, now you would have noticed when you got your information about this workshop. And it said sensible things like sit on a good chair and have some water with you. And it also said this curious thing, have a teddy bear or a cuddly toy or a framed photo of someone you like. Well, it's not because I've entirely lost my senses. It's because I've got one here for you now. Ah, there you are. There's some smiles going on. That's great. I've got one here right now for you. There we are. That's mine. That's a Toastmasters bear. This is your audience, be it a photo or a cuddly toy, whatever it is. You're going to put it beside your laptop or your screen, because I don't want you all fixated on the gallery view for this exercise. So there you are. You're going to have an audience. Toastmasters always need an audience. It's great. We work with audiences. That's splendid. I am going to give you an element of a meal. And I'm going to give you an emotion with which you have to say it, okay? You're going to say it to your picture or your teddy or whatever you've got. I'm going to give you the element of the meal, and you're going to say it with that emotion that I give you. So we're going to begin our meal together this evening, and we're going to begin with a bowl of soup. A bowl of soup. Bowl of soup. But it's not just any bowl of soup, my friends. It's the funniest bowl of soup you've ever seen in your life. Have you ever seen a bowl of soup like that? So let me hear you laugh, and let me hear the joy in your tone as you tell us all about a bowl of soup. Off you go. A bowl of soup.
Bowl of soup. Bowl of soup. Bowl of soup. Bowl of soup. Bowl of soup. Oh my goodness. Bowl of soup. Amazing bowl of soup. Oh my gosh. Bowl of soup. Bowl of soup.
Bowl of soup.
Bowl of soup.
Bowl of soup.
And the next part of our meal is actually cold roast lamb. Cold roast lamb. And it's not just any cold roast lamb, it's freezing. It's so cold, you could freeze to death practically eating this roast lamb. Can you give me cold roast lamb with a cold tone in your voice? Cold roast lamb. Cold roast lamb, over to you. Come on.
Cold roast lamb.
Cold roast lamb.
I did this way.
Pursue it. That's it. Very good.
Cold roast lamb.
Freezing cold.
Can I eat that?
And after I've given you the freezing, well, we've got to warm up again, and we're going to have warm apple crumble. Do you like apple crumble? Everybody seems to like apple crumble. That's why I chose it for the meal game. So we're going to have warm apple crumble. I want your warmest qualities. From that we used at the beginning of the exercise. Warm apple crumble. Off you go.
Really like
Warm apple crumble. Lovely warm tone. Yes, that's the idea. Well done. After that, I think we shall have some cheese and biscuits. You know, we're having a full meal here. We'll have some cheese and biscuits, but have you noticed the price of cheese and biscuits in the shop? It's outrageous. So what I want now is your most outrageous vocal quality. It's outrageous. Cheese and biscuits, come on now. The price of them. So off you go. Cheese and biscuits with outrage.
Biscuits?
biscuits.
Cheese and biscuits.
What? Great. Exactly. What? What exactly? Wonderful. I heard you. And, you know, after a big meal, we feel a bit sleepy, don't we? And we start winding down. And so we're going to have a glass of port. Wouldn't you like that? A glass of port. And it's a very sleepy glass of port. You can allow yourself, you're yawning and we're creating lots of space for our voice to pass through, and it's yawning. And it's just a glass of port. And it all relax.
Really feeling
Glass of That's glass of
Oh, yeah.
That's glass of
Nice and relaxed.
Nice glass of
Sleepy and yawning and into your breath.
Lovely glass of
Well done, everybody. You did the meal game. 5. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Hey.
And I'm now going to ask you to pass back onto mute, please, because we're going to hear from our second prepared speaker. And our second prepared speaker this evening is Toastmaster Stephen. And he has a little speech for us, an extract from a speech entitled, "Is Social Media the New Revolution of Freedom?" So welcome onto the screen, Stephen. It's good to see you. Hopefully I can be spotlighted alongside you as well again. Wonderful. Excellent. Good to see you, Stephen. So if you'd like to give us your speech extract, "Is Social Media the New Revolution of Freedom?"
Thank you, Andrew. Is social media the new revolution of freedom? Hello, Toastmasters and fellow guests. There's no doubt that each one of us have used social media in our lifetime. With the ability to connect people across the world for free, platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter have really pivoted to become our go-to method of communication. And what really started as a profile-based messaging platform, we've seen the likes of Facebook and many others continuously expand their influence onto us by introducing new communication tools, such as business advertising, marketplace selling, online dating, fitness, game streaming, and many more. The scary thing is, for those of us that have social media accounts, we've probably even accepted it as part of our lives, part of normality, and what really makes us feel accepted in society. And for the others that don't have social media accounts, you're probably still linked to it anyway through posts and stories shared by your friends and colleagues. That's just how strong social media has an influence onto us. But here's what's more interesting. In recent years, social media has evolved into more than just an ordinary communication tool. When we look at recent demonstrations, such as Black Lives Matter, LGBT, Hong Kong democracy protests, climate change, we can really see that social media has taken the world by storm and has become the driving force behind political organizing today. This kind of leaves us with questions of whether, is social media a good thing or a bad thing? How much influence does social media have on political and public perception? Or should it just be banned completely altogether? Now let us look at some potential social media outcomes. In 2019, we saw the Australian president was re-elected despite having a negative opinion poll. Similarly, the same thing happened in the UK with the EU referendum. And most recently, we saw the tweets of US presidential candidates setting the entire policy settings for the entire policy administration. That's crazy, right? I mean, it's hard to say social media has caused these outcomes directly, but there's no doubt that social media has played a part in causing these results. Back to you, Andrew. Oh, you're mute.
Here we come. I thought I'd clicked it. I thought it had already gone. Great. Well done, Stephen. Excellent work. What I'd like to work with you on this evening is vocal intention, so that we can really make this speech more engaging, more so that it grabs our attention more, because you've written something that's really very, very well constructed. And I want to feel that you're more engaged in the delivery of it. Now, what I mean by that is, let's take it, if we go working backwards, okay, so we're going to go back to the beginning. You gave us Toastmasters and most welcome guests as your opening gambit. What I would have liked actually is something the other way around, such as, there's no doubt that each one of us has used social media in our lifetime. Toastmasters and welcome guests, you know, or try and find a way. You may have to reword the following sentence a little bit, but try and find a way of putting the Toastmasters and welcome guests after, because I need an impact statement here first. You know, Toastmaster is going to hand over to you, whoever a Toastmaster is, so you can always say, thank you, Toastmaster, or convener if it's in a meeting somewhere else, a professional meeting. Yeah. So you can always say thank you to them first, and then you need to launch that first phrase and then bring everyone in, because we need to be hooked, and it's about intention, it's about being ready. Something that I didn't yet say, but after we've done our warm-up routine, on a day that we're giving a presentation, we should try out a few lines of our speech. Steve, we should really try it out, because by verbalizing the speech a little bit, we break the ice for ourselves and we get into a sense of flow already. So we don't have this feeling that we're called to the virtual space or onto the stage. I've arrived, now I speak. Yeah,
Yes.
we go in the flow already. And I promise you that when we get into that flow already, our audience listens much more carefully. It's about bringing something with you to the space. So you've been through the extract now, which has been very good. There's a lot that's very positive about this, and it's well written, which I like to see. How about let's starting off again and try and find a way of making that opening statement a bit more, we're in conversational style, so you can enjoy the conversational style. Okay. Welcome your audience in with the conversational style. There's no doubt that it's a fact. What I'm saying to you is a fact. There's no doubt. Have a go.
Hello, Toastmasters fellow guests. There's no doubt that each one of us have used social media in our lifetime.
Now, you see, that's already got a lot more energy behind it, okay, Stephen. That really works more because, and particularly when we're speaking online, I think we underestimate that we lose a certain amount of energy through the camera lens. And so we have to give that little bit more to get the message across. Now, that doesn't mean that we all have to be in wild exaggeration all the time, because that doesn't work either. But it's an energy level that we have to find and gauge for the start. I liked what you did there. I liked that a great deal. Now, there was another thing that I wanted to suggest to you, which is that towards the end of your first paragraph, you start introducing these new communication tools, such as dating, marketplace selling, business advertising, game streaming, fitness, and many more. That is a list. When we give a list of something, our vocal variety can dry up on us very easily. So I suggest each of those things is slightly different, so you can be maybe more demonstrative with one than the other. For instance, fitness lends itself, fitness, you could move. Come on, you can use some gesture. Fitness, they're all different. You've got your game streaming. You're looking at your game streaming. Find ways of helping yourself to get the vocal variation in that list. Yeah, would you like to have a go at that? I'll give you where do you want to start? It's influence onto us by introducing these new communication tools,
such as marketplace selling, game streaming, fitness, business selling, and many.
Now you're trying it out, you're experimenting, and that's good. What you would do in your practice for the speech, you would experiment and you would find the best thing. And don't be frightened to go on Zoom on your own sometimes and record your speech. Record your practice, because by watching back you learn as well, and you hear where you can get greater vocal intention. Be very careful of the rocking backwards and forwards too much. Okay, that's a little habit that we all get into. We'll get into that habit when we're online a lot, I know. But yeah, it's just to make sure there's a different vocal intention throughout, so that a list becomes something that's expressive. It's expressive. Yeah, yes. It's something that's alive. It's not just a list of words. That's what I'm really looking for. So you were finding it there, and that's good. That's very good. I also liked the 3 questions section that you gave us. And this is the last thing I'm going to do with you today. It's now left us with many questions, such as is social media a good thing or a bad thing? You've got a contrast there. Well done for writing a contrast. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Now, that's a different vocal intention, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And the next one, how much influence can social media have on a political or public perception? That's more of a wondering type question. How much does it have? It's a different vocal intention, yeah, to get to that. And then the last one, or should it all be band together? And that is the culmination of the series of 3. Do you see what I did?
Yes.
So you've got different vocal intentions for each one. Can you give it a go?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. This leaves us with many questions, such as, is social media a good thing or a bad thing? And how much, what was the line again?
How much influence?
Yeah, how much influence does social media have on political or public perception? Or should it just be banned altogether?
That's right. Should it just be banned altogether? And that one you can make big and large, because it's the idea of, yeah, let's get rid of it all. Okay, well done, Stephen. So I've given you some ideas to think about intention, in vocal intention in your speech. Yeah. So find the thought and your voice will follow. Find the intention, your voice will follow. But very well done to Stephen and to Rupa this evening. Round of applause for Stephen.
I have a quick question, if you don't mind.
Ask away.
You know when you said getting into a flow before you start, yes. I find that very difficult because like every time I start a speech, the nerves kick in and I feel like that really interrupts like my speech from the start.
The only way to really cure that is to practice, practice, practice.
Okay.
And before you come to your meeting, and I like people to do it actually earlier in the day if they can, because you carry the benefits with you in your working life. You do a warm-up and you say the first phrases or lines of that speech and you break the ice for yourself. And the more you do that, it becomes like flexing a muscle, same as the exercises do. It's like sport. It's like a sport. If you're going to practice a sport to a high level, you'd make your muscles work, wouldn't you? Yeah? Yes. And they work regularly. And then as you worked more often with those muscles, they would respond to you as a reflex. And it's like that with your speaking, I promise you. So keep stepping up there because this is very good, what you're doing here. So it's worth you keeping developing, okay? Keep going with this. It's going to be great. You're welcome. Right. Thank you, Stephen. Great to have you on screen there. Wonderful. We are going to do a little exercise. I'm keeping an eye on our timing for us because I want us to be able to do an exercise in breakout room. When you received the Your Engaging Voice and Online Workshop exercises and tips, which has got a red top on it in the file that you received, on the second page, there is an exercise sheet. It says exercise sheet. It has 3 exercises on it, 1, 2, and 3. These are exercises about modulation. What does modulation really mean? It means the pacing of our speech. Pacing is incredibly important to our expression and to how the audience hears us. So I'm going to demonstrate these exercises to you. And then you're going to go in groups of 4, hopefully, maybe you'll be 3, but usually you should be in groups of 4. One of you will take exercise 1 and do it. One will take exercise 2, and 2 people will do exercise 3 because it's a dialogue. Okay, if you end up with an odd number in your room, someone will have to double up the task. You're going to practice the exercises together, and we're at Toastmasters. What do we do in Toastmasters? We give each other commendations and recommendations. Okay, so you're going to join and give a little bit of feedback to each other in your breakout rooms. I'm going to show you the exercises first of all. Ready? So listen up carefully because I'm going to demonstrate for you. The first of these exercises is about rapid changes of thought that have to reflect in your voice. Now, I think I left it on the bus. Let's see. I had it at lunch because I remember putting it under my chair. Yes, and the waitress picked it up and she gave it to me. And then we went to Debenhams. So you have a lot of changes of thought going on quite quickly there. And sometimes when we're in the speech, we do have some fairly rapid change moments. So that's a good one to practice. The next one, did you know that you can actually see with your voice? You can see with your voice. Listen to this one. I can't quite reach. It's too high. Hold on. If I stretch a little bit, hold my foot, will you? That's right. Look, I'm slipping now. Oh, hang on. That was a near thing. So we're seeing with our voices. It's the intention behind our speech that brings the vocal variety. And the last one is the dialogue. And I like to think that these are burglars trying to get into a house. Are you there? Yes. It's all right. They're asleep. Talk softly. I was only going to say the stairs squeak horribly. Have you got everything? I think so. I was terrified of making a noise. Look out, you're going to drop it. Oh! So 3 little modulation exercises. You are going to go away for 6 minutes into the breakout room right now. Try them out together. Say a quick hello to everybody and try them out. Give each other some feedback. Off you go. Have some fun. Everybody, here we come.
Thank you, Andrew. It was very, very, very good. And we had really a lot of fun. And most of us tried our best to deliver each word. And because we were all conscious.
Yeah, because we're getting aware of our voices and what we do now. So that's good. It means that we're putting into practice already what we've been learning. Thank you, Rupa. I wanted to say a word to you before we have a break about this. The pauses. You may think that I'm absolutely crazy to talk about pauses in a voice workshop, but pauses are part of the music of your speech and your presentation. And therefore, for me, they have as much place when we're talking about modulation, flow and intention and vocal intention of speech in a workshop as anything else. Now, I told you that I'm going to send you or you'll be receiving my article about vocal variety. You will also receive my article, Types and Uses of Pauses. You see, there's more than one type of pause. There's dramatic pauses, and there are suspensory pauses, all sorts of pauses that we can incorporate into our speech projects. We give people very good advice at Toastmasters. When they start out, we say, use a pause instead of using a filler word. That's great when we're starting, but if we want to evolve and become more experienced speakers, well, we need to consider other types of pauses as well and how we can write them into our presentations. So you're going to be receiving this after the workshop today, I'm pleased to say. All these little takeaways for you. Before we go into our break, I have a poem for you which sums up all the parts of the body that we've used as we've worked on our speaking this evening and getting our best vocal quality. So I'm going to invite you to sit back, shut your eyes, and just visualize as we go through the poem. My soul is in my breath, and with my breath I will lift up my voice in song and in speech. For my breath will be turned to sound. The inner portal, my teeth and tongue and lips, will be like a graceful dance as I articulate my speech. And in my throat, there'll be no constriction. A supple dance of speech, a speech of beauty. My breath is in my voice is in my speech. My speech will be understood by all through its clarity and through its intention. Let's just gently come back and off you go for 10 minutes break and you'll be called back by a scene. Okay, good work, everybody. Fantastic. Well, welcome back, everybody. It's nice to see you back again. That's good. All back on screen, everybody ready for the second half of the evening. And now we are really going to practice what we've preached and practice what we've learned in the first half. So I'm delighted to hand over first to our topics masters this evening. We're going to have a nice interactive topic session so that you can practice your vocal skills. And the first topics master is going to be Gayatri. Gayatri, take the stage, please.
Thank you so much, Andrew. And I hope all my table topic victims are ready. And I'm going to just pick one after another. And my first victim would be Pearl. Pearl Carrigan, are you ready? Just say yes. Just unmute yourself and say yes. Okay. Pearl Carrigan, I'm going to give you the beginning of the story. I'm going to give you first sentence of the story and you have to complete the story. Pearl Carrigan, as I was rushing for the office.
Wait. Excuse me, I think it's Carol Cardigan. So it's Pearl
Pearl.
Imp.
No, Pearl Cadogan. Carol.
Oh, Pearl. Yes.
And how long is the table topic? Sorry.
1 to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes. Okay. Pearl Cadogan. As I was rushing for the office, I fell in the puddle. As I was rushing for the office, I fell in the puddle. Pearl Cadogan.
You see, I had my mobile phone in my hand and I was busy scrolling through and finding out what Aminat had sent for us for tonight's voice session. And as I was scrolling through, I didn't notice there was a whole puddle of water and I fell in it, and alas, my phone fell in there too. Now let me tell you about my phone falling into the water. I didn't mind that I was wet. I was more worried about my phone because half of me is in that phone. All my friends, all my recipes, all my contacts from all around the world. Here was I standing all wet. But more importantly, I was looking in the puddle. Oh my gosh, my phone. I need a new one so that I can reset all the information and most of all, get the information that I need for tonight's voice coaching session. Madam Table Topics.
Wow, that was great, Pearl. Now I'm going to pick up my next speaker, and that would be Amina. Okay, Amina, I'm going to give you one sentence, and you have to use that sentence a minimum of 3 times in your entire speech. The sentence you have to use a minimum of 3 times in your speech. Amina, I know what you did last summer. I know what you did last summer. Amina.
I know what you did last summer. I think we can all agree, like most of us, last summer, Boris told us, come out, enjoy the fresh air with common sense. Yes, common sense. Not very common. We all embraced his idea of common sense and all came out at the same time. And I'm sure, like Amina, because I am Amina, I know what you did last summer. Enjoying that advice, we came out, soaked ourselves in the sunshine. I got sunburned for the first time in my life. You see, that was not something I thought was ever going to happen to me. I think probably some of you in this room, just like Aminat, knowing what you all did last summer, also got sunburnt. Or maybe you were just wiser than I am and applied sun cream when you were enjoying the bliss in your gardens. I certainly wish I did. But before last summer, I never needed to actually use sun cream because I am not a sun worshipper, or I didn't actually enjoy the benefits of it until last summer. So if, like Aminat, you enjoys the sun, then like Aminat, I know what you did last summer. Thank you.
Okay, that was cool. Thank you, Aminat. And now our next table topic master is going to be table topic speaker now. Matt, are you ready?
I am ready.
So Matt, this should be the first sentence of your speech and also the last sentence of your speech. Your speech begins and ends with this. Matt Clark I love you. I love you, Matt Clark.
I love you, each and every one of you. Asim, Aminat, Andrew, Gayatri, Rupa. I'm not going to go through 23 names, but I love you all. Aren't you all such beautiful people showing up on a Thursday evening at 7 p.m. to hone your skills in developing the tone of your voice, your vocal variety? Why? Because you care. You care about developing yourselves. You're not going to spend an evening just relaxing, watching the telly, reading a book. No, you're investing in yourself because you want to make your life better. Maybe you want to make other people's lives better by speaking more engagingly to them. And you know that you're going to do that by developing your own speaking skills. I commend you all, really and truly. But not just that. I've been coming along to Croydon Communicators for over 2 years now. And in that time, I've had the opportunity, an opportunity I'm so grateful for, to actually get to know many of you in person. Admittedly, that was slightly easier about 1.5 years ago, but nevertheless, these online meetings have kind of come thick and fast every fortnight. And in that time, I have got to know each and every, many of you. And to that, I just want to say, I love you.
Okay, I did my best to get I love you out of him and I got it. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to pick up my next table topic victim, and Paul there is smiling. So Paul, are you ready? Okay, I don't care if you're ready. You're a Toastmaster, you are ready. You're always ready for a table
Always
topic.
ready.
Paul M. Where there is a will, there is a problem. Where there is a will, there is a problem. Paul M.
Where there is a will, there is a problem. I've never heard that saying before, but I'm certainly intrigued by what it could mean. Could it mean that someone is over ambitious, perhaps, and their driving force leads them to the edge of a cliff? Or is it a different meaning of will? Is it the struggle that people find when someone passes away and you all sit around expectantly wondering, did they remember me in their will? What was the last thing I said to them before they passed away? Was I the best grandson or granddaughter they ever had? I hope the money isn't all going to go to my brother or my sister. They didn't spend half the time I did looking after them when they were alive, putting up with their telling me, when am I going to get married? When am I going to have children? No, it was me. And what will I get from this will? Where there's a will, there's trouble ahead. Madam Toastmaster.
Let's just say, Paul, you can do an education session on this topic alone. Where there is will, there is problem. And now I'm going to request our timekeeper, Asim, to take the next table topic. Can I request someone to time him for that? Okay, Amina is going to time you. So Asim, are you ready?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, Asim. This should be the last sentence of your speech. This should be the last sentence of your speech. Asim, all is well. All is well, Asim.
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master Gayatri, and fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. I almost forgotten what sentence I'm supposed to end on, so I should really be paying more attention and less multitasking during this meeting. But let's have a look at the state of the world we find ourselves in. What's going on? There's climate change. There's terrible things going on all the time. We've just come through a pandemic. In fact, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. It's not quite over yet. The economy's in turmoil. We're struggling with issues such as Brexit, all kinds of terrible, awful things. It's not the best time to be alive, or is it? You could go back in time and have periods of history where things were infinitely worse. It's just that we don't really know that much about them. But nowadays, when everything is captured to that minute detail, the news is available 24/7. We see a lot of the bad things, but we don't see a lot of the good things that are going on in the world. And what is one of those good things? Well, of course, Toastmasters. Let's pick Toastmasters. We're still going strong. We're here, as Matt said earlier, developing our skills, making the world a better place. And I see the green light, so all is well. Actually, table topic master.
Okay, Asim was just waiting for the green light to show. And this is where I take a leave. And I would like to now hand over to our next tip. I would like to now hand over to Andrew to take it forward from here. Over to you, Andrew.
Thank you, Gayatri. Great topics. Let's give a round of applause to Gayatri. Great choice of topics, everybody. I wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on your performances this evening and on your topics. So here we go with our first set of speakers. Pearl came and she was going to land in the puddle, and she went straight into her topic, no hesitation. And Pearl has such a great dynamic and a great direct quality when she starts speaking. I love that. I would have liked her to fall into the puddle and then to take the phone out and make it soggy, just so that we can get a different vocal variety, different tone in there, different vocal tone. We fall into the puddle, that's one thing, that's bad enough. But then when you take the phone out and it's soggy, hey, that's another quality entirely, isn't it? So I would have liked to play around more with the topic, but it was a fantastically direct and well answered and humorous topic as well. I enjoyed that very much. Aminat came to us, and we all know now what she did last summer, I'm pleased to say. It was a lovely confiding tone. This was a different approach for the topic. It's very confiding, very warming sort of a tone that she gave us. And I enjoyed the fact that she used some pauses in there as well, as she spun the topic out a little bit and used the pauses. I want more contrast in the voice. For instance, the sunshine is absolutely fabulous, isn't it? But when I get the sunburn, ow, it hurts. It hurts. And I need to hear that hurt in the vocal tone and with the intention. However, Bliss in the Garden brought the topic to a beautiful ending. I enjoyed Bliss in the Garden. Matt had to say, I love you. Now, when I heard the topic first, I thought he had to say, I love you, Matt. I thought this was a topic about self-adoration or something, you know, how much I love Matt, who happens to be me, kind of thing. So that was quite interesting, that question. He had a great start. And again, he was very direct in his communication with us, nice conversational style. And I think he could make even more occasionally of the, now you're really investing yourself in your future. He used the word engaging. So why not step it up a bit more and say, you are investing your time in becoming a really engaging speaker. And use the words, use the sound of words sometimes as well. The sound of words is an important reflection of their meaning, isn't it? So use the sound of the word and really enjoy it. But the I love you at the end was quite fun. I would have made it bigger because it's the final statement, you know. I love you all, I love you. It's the big moment and it has a pause after it. I love you. And it just stays in the air. But this was a terrifically answered topic, wonderful energy, great speaker on screen for us tonight, a great model of a topic. And I'm hoping that I'm going to see Matt in some table topics contests soon if he hasn't done them already. Right, Paul is coming along next. Where there's a will. Now, this was an interesting topic because we found a really fascinating idea, over-ambition straight away. And then we contrasted it with when somebody passes away. I wondered if there shouldn't be some sort of change of dynamic in that, because somebody passing away is actually quite sad. Now, I know that when we developed the topic, it sort of took the form of, will I get the money, or will someone else inherit? And there, yeah, we can open it up and we can make it funny and we can enjoy the laughter as well, maybe a bit. But when we just got that change at the beginning, the overambition, and then somebody passing away, that's a different vocal intention again. So let's play with that. And there was trouble ahead. Trouble ahead needs to be underlined a bit more. But a great topic and well presented. I enjoyed that. Lots of personalization and dramatization coming on now. Asim, all is well. What do you think the greatest thing about Asim in his topic is? I think it's the fact that he's got a tremendous sense of flow. He was taken by surprise because he was asked to do a topic, and he's already doing lots of roles tonight. But he has a great sense of flow in his speech. Nothing holds back Asim. And that's why I want to encourage him, as his recommendation, to slow down occasionally and just allow a little breathing space, a little pause. There's only so much in terms of words that we can absorb in a short space of time. So just to slow down the pace helps. Use emphasis, maybe. He was saying sometimes there's a way of using emphasis. And another one that was quite a useful phrase for turning and using a bit of pause and an emphasis was, or is it? After we say, or is it, we can suspend that in the air, can't we? It allows a space. So let's make the space. But the ending was absolutely great. And yeah, I've got to the green and all is well. Splendid work from our first set of topic speakers. Can't wait to hear the second set. And we've got Matt coming onto the screen with some topics now. Come on, Matt. Set us all off with some more topics, please.
I will do indeed. Thanks, Andrew. So the theme of my 5 table topic question is words, because, well, we're all saying a lot of words tonight, aren't we? So my first topic is this. Are there too many words or not enough? And this is for Ian. Are there too many words or not enough?
So sorry, what have I got to do now? Do I need to talk for 1 minute?
Yes, just ad lib for 1 to 2 minutes on what I've just told you.
Okay, so sorry, just repeat the words again.
Sure. It's quite an abstract one. Are there too many words or not enough?
So, are there too many words or not enough? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Something that we could all ponder on for hours and hours. Are there too many words or not enough? We can find words in dictionaries. We can find them in libraries. We see them every day in papers. We see them on the news. We're showing them in social media. We're showing them on the TV. But we're always trying to find the right words, something that we can share, something we can show other people, something that we can understand. Words that tell us that we're good or we're great. Words of wisdom, something that shows us that we're impressed. Things that will inspire us, words that will give us meaning and take us on to new things. That's be done.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Ian. I appreciate maybe you weren't expecting that and I put you on the spot, but you did exceptionally well, I can assure you. Thanks, Ian. Brilliant. So my next question is this. Tell us about a situation where you wanted to speak up but didn't. This one is for Emmanuel. So I'll say it one more time. Tell us about a time where you wanted to speak up but you didn't. Emmanuel, over to you.
Thank you. I've wanted to speak up on so many occasions, but I didn't. I wonder why. I always wonder why. Is it because I gave away or I gave that other person so much power? Is it because I had so much respect and reverence for that person? Or is it because I simply step away from conflict. And I've had one too many conflicts. I can hold my own. Or is it because I thought, nah, it's not a battle worth me getting involved in. I will win the fight. But this battle, I don't need to get wounded on this one. I don't need to waste energy on it. Should I have spoken up? I probably should, because by not speaking up, I think I gave away a lot of power. And I think I gave the other person a lot of fertile ground to let whatever they're doing fester. Lesson to myself, next time I'll speak up. Thank you.
Brilliant, thanks, Emmanuel. That sounded like a very kind of wise, a slice of wisdom in a table topic. Thank you. Okay, the next one is this. Would you rather not be able to stop talking for the rest of your life, even while you sleep, or never be able to say another word again? This one is for Jasmine.
So could you repeat that?
Absolutely, yeah. Would you rather not be able to stop talking for the rest of your life, even while you're asleep, or never be able to say another word again?
Would I rather not be able to stop talking for the rest of my life, even while I sleep, or not say another word for the rest of my life? Well, I think the answer is obvious. I'm here at Toastmasters, and here we are all about speaking and improving our speech. So showing up to Toastmasters and not saying a word, I think that's quite outrageous. So speaking in my sleep, I do that anyway. I've been told by my children, Mum, I heard you last night. What was I saying? I don't know, something about bills needing to be paid. I don't know. I think speaking is something that we all should do. And I think it's something that we continually do. Even when we are not vocalizing it out loudly, we are constantly speaking in our minds. So then it begs me to question the second part of your question, Matt. Would I rather not say a word for the rest of my life? Well, am I really not saying a word? Because there are other ways of communicating. We think with our minds, we can type. There's technology that allows us to speak even at the blink of our eyes. So am I really not saying a word by not opening my mouth and not speaking? I don't know. I think this is something I'm going to think about a bit more. But for now, I'm at Toastmasters, like I said, and the thing we do here is speak. So I think I'm going to go with speaking for the rest of my life, even while I sleep. Thank you.
Fantastic, well done. That was a very balanced response. It was one side, then the other side, but then a nice conclusion at the end. Well done. Okay, my fourth table topic is the following. What is the most important word? And this one is for Lalita. What is the most important word?
Okay, what is the most important word? This is going to be tough because I think there are lots of important words and I have to pick one from that. Okay, let me think of at least 3 important words which I think are which matter to me as such. Caring for others and helping others, and then giving some opportunity in life. So opportunity, caring, and helping is what I feel are 3 important words. And I choose out of them caring, which this is what I can give others, even if I have money or not. This is the only help where we can do for others. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you. That was a very wholesome answer. Brilliant. Okay, and then my fifth and final table topic. Of course, I've got to get my revenge. Gayatri, this one's for you. Invent a new word for us right now and tell us what it means.
Fantabulous. Yes, my dear friends, fantabulous. I mean, imagine you are sitting on hills, river is flowing by. You have a hot cup of coffee in your hand. Birds are singing. And there is pleasant weather, bit of cold breeze blowing around. How are you going to feel? Amazing, excellent, exciting, marvelous, fabulous, fantastic. One word cannot encompass all those feelings. So what do I say? I say I feel fantabulous because it's a fabulous feeling and everything around is fantastic. That is why fantabulous. Now imagine you're sitting in a restaurant, your favorite restaurant, and your favorite dish is served. Look at that dish. It's delicious. The cook has cooked it to the perfection. You pick it up, sink your teeth in it. How does it feel? No, a single adjective just cannot encompass all that you feel. That is why I had to come up with this new word, fantabulous. Imagine a Toastmasters meeting. Somebody just out of revenge throws a topic at you. And you are thinking, how do I extract that revenge back? This got to be the War of Roses. So I come up with the word, fantabulous, Table Topic Master.
I think I might have to consult my diary, my dictionary, I should say here. Fantabulous. Okay, it's not a word, fine, I'll give it to you. Well done, everyone. Back to you, Andrew.
Thank you, Matt. Great choice of topics for us there. A little bit of feedback now for us all to enjoy together. Now, I'm becoming aware that we have some guests of Toastmasters here this evening. It's great to have you along with us this evening. And I think one of those guests was Ian. Ian, really well done for answering your first table topic. It takes some courage to step up and give us a reply there. So very well done for doing that. And here we had the too many or not enough and a choice of words again. It was a choice of words topic that we had coming from Ian. Ian suggested to us that certain words would be right words, great words, good words, words of wisdom. I would like to have heard one of those great words or one of those words, an example. An example would be good because we could get our vocal variation really going. So what is a great word? A great word is encouragement, because you encourage others. It's a great word, encouragement. What's a word of wisdom? A word of wisdom is thoughtfulness. It could be any example that we just pluck out of the air, but it's challenging in the table topics context. So I think that really we had an excellent example coming from Ian this evening. I enjoyed his topic very much. Hope you'll come back to us and you'll do some more and some prepared speaking as well. So well done to Ian for his first topic. Speak up but didn't. Emmanuel saying that he hadn't spoken up and he wished he did. The nice thing about Emmanuel as a speaker is that he has the most tremendous poise on camera. I don't know if you watched and you registered that. We were talking about our posture and our poise and our body alignment earlier on. And Emmanuel really has this in spades. He's great on camera and on screen, and I'm sure he's great in a room situation as well. So he has a lot of poise in this, and he uses the voice with depth and expression. There was a whole voice was working there, the lower sounds, the middle sounds, and the upper sounds. Remember what we were saying earlier on? So that was working very, very well. I think I might have liked something a bit more affirmative in the tone for I will win the fight. And then we can contrast it nicely. But is this fight really worth it? Different vocal intention, different vocal variety and vocal tone. Terrific topic though, and very, very well handled by Emmanuel. And then we had Jasmine. And were we going to stop talking even in our sleep, or were we going to continue? And she turned the topic around beautifully and brought it into the Toastmasters context, which I enjoyed. She repeated the question at the beginning, and that is a technique that we can use, particularly when we start out in topics. As we get more experience, we don't need to do that anymore. We can actually launch in without repeating the question. But when we're starting out with our topics and gaining confidence, yes, it gives us a few extra moments to think. And we can, with a conversational start, make a positive impression with it. So I was pleased with what Jasmine was doing. She was very bright in her voice. She smiled, and that brightened up her tone as well, which was nice to listen to. And I wanted a pause at one moment, and the pause came on. I'm just trying to read my writing. I should have my glasses on, shouldn't I? Other ways of commending. I think there was other ways of commending came up in the topic. And so there was space for some pauses occasionally. However, the topic was very well handled. And as I say, a nice bright tone and atmosphere to the topic overall. The most important words coming from Lanitha this evening, helping and caring. What I'd like to encourage Lanitha with is what I call core stability, i.e. we get into our nice body alignment, we're comfortable and poised, and we stay there. We can, from that, we can do gestures and we can express things. But there was a little sort of shuffling movement going on sometimes as we think of our words. It's very tempting. I do it sometimes when I'm thinking of my words too. But let's work to keep a nice balance physically, because that's good for our breath. And if it's good for our breath, it's good for our voices, our vocal tone. Terrific topic though, a nice choice of words, helping and caring. I appreciated that. And then came Gayatri with her fantabulous table topic. Wow, this was a good one to end on this evening as a table topic, because it had fantabulous storytelling all the way through. There were great contrasts. In the middle, she gave a list of words that it could be. You know, might it be splendid or splendiferous or something? As we do that list, we could maybe make it more of a progression in importance all the way up to fantabulous. Let's make it a progression. Progressions are great things, and they really grab your audience in engaging speaking. But she used the senses, and this is something that I like to do in the table topics workshop with people. Use all the senses: hearing, sight, taste, smell. Get your audience experiencing things with your language and your vocal tone. Well done to Gayatri this evening. I've really enjoyed doing this workshop with you this evening and sharing. It's been fantastic to come to Croydon Speakers and to share with you. Take away these ideas, play with them, make them your own. Use them when you're doing your presentations, be they in Toastmasters or outside. Just make them yours, play around with them, have fun, and develop your vocal and physical presence as you speak. Do enjoy it to the full. I'm going to hang around in the after party for questions. So I'm going to hand back now to our president, Aminat, to close the meeting, and then we shall have an after party.
Can we please all unmute to give Andrew a huge round of applause?
Yes, thank you, Andrew. It was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for coming here tonight and impacting us with knowledge beyond our means. It was when I messaged Andrew a few months ago, actually no, last month, not a few months ago. I've been thinking about messaging a few months ago, but I messaged him a month ago. And promptly he responded and planned this workshop out for us. He already had the machine in place. And Andrew, being a Toastmaster, came here and gave his time to us. It was, I guess it was actually a stroke of luck that Stephen, our second speaker tonight, went to a past workshop of yours and he enjoyed it so much. He was like, Aminat, you have to invite Andrew. And after dilly-dallying for quite some bit, I finally do. So thank you very much, Andrew, for coming to us tonight and sharing with us. And I would like to welcome Ian. Ian, can I have another warm round of applause for Ian? Ian is the newest member of Croydon Communicators.
Thanks, everybody.
This is his first Toastmaster meeting. So I'd like to say, Ian, kudos to you for jumping the gun and taking on the table topic. Because when I asked Ian earlier on today, would he be taking on the table topic? I was like, let's see. And I want to commend you for not pulling out. And when Matt pushed you to jump the brim, you did it. And that is how we learn at Toastmasters, is by doing it, practicing and getting better. And we got to be given feedback by the amazing Andrew. Now I can see that our area director is in the room or was in the room. For some reason, I'm now blind. Yes, he is there at the bottom of my screen. I guess he's here to also remind me that on Saturday the 13th is our area contests. So we've had the club contest, and on Saturday the morning from 9 to 1 or 12 noon, we'll be hosting the area contest. The Zoom account will be shared generally on the WhatsApp chat, and I believe also on the channels for the area via Facebook and whatnot. So please do come and support our competitors. We have Dan McGill not in the room tonight, will be competing with us, and possibly Stephen also the table topic. So that should be an amazing evening. Now, I hope you all had an amazing night with us tonight, and I will be dropping a feedback form in the chat. So please give us the feedback, because feedback is the food of champions. We want to become better as a club, and by you giving us feedback, you make us better. Oh yes, someone reminded me, I should actually have some of our guests come on the stage, if you will, and say to us how you felt about the session, and just give us 1-2 words of encouragement or verbal feedback, and I'll just drop the other things in the chat. Can we have Lalita?
I really found the session very useful, actually, because I struggle with my vocal variety and even pauses, which was a good thing, actually. So I think I'm going to take away whatever he's taught us today. And well done, Andrew. It's really a helpful session. Thank you. And thanks you guys for arranging this session. Really useful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us, Lalita. Can we have Beverly? Would you like to give us 1-2 sentences about tonight?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I found that this session very, very helpful indeed, because I do have problems with my pauses, and I'm learning to speak slowly. I tend to speak too quickly. Hand gestures, I'm trying to practice more. The voice and the tone of voice, all these things I need to practice on. So it was very helpful. So I've jotted down, made a note that I can remember what to practice, and the energies, using the energies in my voice, because I just tend to not really pay attention. I just tend to talk and not really pay attention. It should be much more interesting when I start doing these. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming, and hopefully we'll be getting to see more of you, Beverly, and maybe become our US member in a couple of weeks. You never know. I'd like to invite Rafiat to come on stage and give us 1-2 sentences about tonight, how you felt.
Hello, everyone. Many thanks, Aminat. I enjoyed being here today. So aside from listening to the wealth of knowledge from Andrew, I also found very useful feedback from my own little room when we had the breakout rooms. The group I was in, I found that very useful. And what I love about Toastmaster sessions is the support that you all give to each other. So I think I want to commend everybody on that. It's so beautiful when you have a team behind you. That's how it feels to me. You know, you have this team supporting you. So even if you're not there, the team will help you get better. And yeah, so many things to practice, so many things to take on board. I am naturally a fast speaker. Now I'm trying to remember to do my pauses and all the other things I learned tonight. So yes, another very useful session. Many thanks to everyone.
Thank you very much for your feedback. I'd like to have Carol. Carol?
Thank you again for the very warm welcome from Croydon Toastmasters. It really is a breath of fresh air to have, you know, everybody being so warm and welcoming. So thank you once again. Thank you to Andrew for, as has already been said, the words of wisdom. I do struggle with tonality in my voice. So it's been really great to have reminders again and have examples from everybody, including Andrew, in how to improve on that area as well as many others. So thank you for a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carol. I noticed the other Carol of the Cadagans also unmuted. Carol, you're no longer a guest on Croydon Communicators. You and Pearl are honorary members. Who would always like your feedback? Can we have Julie to the stage? Julie, can you share with us how you found tonight?
Thank you very much for a very interesting workshop by Andrew and very interesting evaluation of table topics. My only frustration was that I was not asked to answer to any table topics. I was ready for almost all of them. They were so good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julie. We're so sorry we couldn't catch you a part of the speakers for tonight, unfortunately. We wish we had more time. See, if we had more time, we would have been able to reach you, but thank you very much for your feedback. I think I have touched everyone. Or Jasmine, actually. No, Jasmine, this is the first time Jasmine is visiting. This is the first time Jasmine is visiting our club, Pearl. She's not yet a honorary member. So please, Jasmine, share with us how you found tonight.
Today was amazing. I definitely took a lot of notes from Andrew that I'm going to implement. I was laughing to myself because it's a thing where you're taught something and then as soon as you're called up, everything you've been taught goes out the window. So I was trying to remember, okay, am I postured right? Am I breathing? Am I, you know? So it's only like, as I began talking, I remembered, okay, yeah, we're supposed to be implementing what Andrew's taught us, but I suppose it all comes with practice, and which is why we come here to practice. And I'm really grateful. I'm really glad that you invited us to even come and attend. I like that about Toastmasters, that we can dip into other people's pubs. So thank you.
You're welcome, Jasmine. Which is one of the, well, it's amazing how Andrew is prepared tonight for us. We have the exercises to walk through in our own time, and also we'll be sending out some nice gifts on pauses and some other things in the email for you to help us practice and become better tonight. So thank you everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I have left some links in the chat for reviews. Please give us some lovely, honest Google reviews, because I think
the link is not working.
Even the second
Sorry
one.
to interrupt. Yeah. Oh, let me try. I didn't see
The second one is working.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. My bad.
Okay. So
Sorry to
yes, the
interrupt.
links are working. So please give us a Google review because that helps us and helps direct people who want to get better at public speaking to our club and also share an amazing meeting like you have done here with us tonight. We will now be closing the meeting. If you have any questions about membership, please stay in the room with me. I think we'll be also creating a breakout room. So if you have any questions for Andrew, please stay behind and ask him. If you're interested, we'll possibly move you into a breakout room with Andrew.
Can I say something? We didn't hear from Florence. Is Florence the part?
Florence is a member. Florence was off screen during the table topics. Yeah. For some reason. Why, Florence? Florence is a member of Croydon Communicators. That is why I didn't bring her up on stage. Florence, can you speak to us? We haven't heard your voice tonight.
Thank you, Beverly. Good evening, Toastmasters. Thank you very much for the wonderful session, Andrew. I speak fast. I think everybody knows Croydon Communicators. So this was a session for me to learn how to use pauses. I've been working hard, but your session made a difference. Thanks for organizing this, Aminat, and have a good evening, everyone.
So I think, do we have anyone who wants to ask Andrew some questions? If you can just raise your hands up. Asim, do you want to open a breakout room? And